Oh. Man, it's been a while since I've been here. Wait, how do I go into... Fucking love this game. Hold on. So we have a problem. I don't think we can get it in full screen. Sega! Hold on. How to get Sonic Mania in full screen. Alt enter. Oh, there we go. Oh, it's not showing up on... Oh no, it's one of these full screen things where it lags the fuck out of my PC every time I want to go out and tab. Oh my god. Why the fuck is this happening? Well, it's frozen. I can't see anything. Okay, that's better. Now it's actually working. I want to do one thing. There we go. Been a long ass time. As you can see, I've been busy. I've played the shit out of this game. I love Mania. Oh, we didn't get raid the final Chaos Emerald. Yeah, I've played the shit out of the game. I love Sonic Mania so fucking much. Hold on. Sonic ability. I guess we'll start at Green Hill Zone. I don't know, if you guys want me to do special stages, I could, but I don't know, I guess we'll do it, you know, like this. Oh god, does it feel good to be back? Oh man, finally a good Sonic game. That's what everyone was saying in 2017. Now I'm trying to get onto the platform. You move away, Sparkles. Oh fuck! Tails, carry me back up here. Gotta go. It even has the Emerald Hill things here. Oh, spin dash, that's actually useful. Oh, you can. Oh, that sprite is awesome. There we go. Oh, here's Act 2, it's awesome. What's going on? Why is it okay? I guess we don't lose it. Oh, look what you've done, Tails. This is all Tails' fault. Oh, fuck! Oh yeah! Oh yeah, you can't stop me. Love this. Oh, look at that idle spot. Think the Death Ape robot's any match for me? Oh, I love the boss music in this game as well. Oh, that was awesome. Come on, let's activate the Tails. forgot how beautiful the sprites were in this game. I played this game so much in 2017 and 2018. I love it so much. Here's these guys again. Hello, Gatorade. And the Phantom Ruby's activated. Oh, thanks. Phantom Ruby's activated and we go to Chemical Plant. Now that I think... Oh, I actually gave him a sprite for that. Okay. But in, there's actually a starting cutscene which shows the aggro bows being turned into the, hard-boiled heavies. Now, originally, there was no Phantom Ruby in Mania, I think. I think it was supposed to be something else, but it was retroactively changed into the, Phantom Ruby. Okay. But yeah, in the intro cutscene, they get turned into the hard-boiled heavies. Oh, just lost it all. Okay, how is that fair? Hey, Tails, we gotta do a trick shot here. Tails, you dumb rat, get up here. Thank you. Look, he's done, Tails. Dang, bro, I hate collision. Yeah. Oh, look. Look what's happening now. Tails, you just died. Look what you've done. So you just gotta be calm. You just gotta be calm. Come on, get up there. No! Thank you. There we go. What the hell is Tails doing? Oh, it's using different music. It's probably because of the mod I had for, you know, Junio Sonic. Here's Act 2. This is where it gets good. In the music. Alright, we got Yeah, I love the reused zones in Mania because they actually are unique. I think we want to go down here. Alright, this is... What? Yeah, you can hear Metallic Madness in the music. I don't know, I think we should go down here, maybe? Let's go. God damn it, Tails, look what you've made me do. Oh, I forgot how well the animation is. Oh wait, what am I... Oh, okay. Oh, you're not getting me? Oh, this should lead to the boss. Yeah, here we go. I love this mode. I love Green Bean Machine. I mean, Bean Machine class. Oh man, I love this. Here, I'll just put it right here. I'll put that right there. And we're doing that. Damn it, I fucked it up. It's okay. We can make it work. Just gotta put that there. Put that right there. Put that right there. Alright. Okay, I think we're getting there. Aw! I was about to get a bunch of combos, then he just got himself killed. Oh. Well, I'm just gonna eat my McDonald's French fries and Slurpee. Homemade Slurpee because I have a Slurpee machine. Am I ready for Studiopolis? There we go. Action! Actually, Tails, get your flying butt up there. Let's get at it. Oh! Tails, look what you've done! Oh! Tails, get back down here. There we go. go. I love the background of Studio Waffle. It's such a great zone. Oh, this is all Tails' fault once again. Oh shit. Here's the first hard-boiled heavy boss. Oh my. Oh, look what you've done. You know, this has returned many times in, like, newer Sonic games, like the blue and red missiles thing, like even in Shadow Generations. It just shows how influential Mania has been. There's the subway, that is so cool. There's some Sonic 1 references on it. There's the heavy gunner down. There we go. Oh, it has Toei Sonic instead. That's funny. There's a lot of small things the mod changes, I think. So it's not exactly the default Mania experience, but you know, everyone wanted me to do they wanted me to have these mods on, so I am, you know, doing what the people ask. And also, I like, you know, having Junio or Toei Sonic, whatever it's called. Oh shit. I'm trying to get up there. Stop taking photos of me! Oh, look what you've done. Tails! Tell this badnip to shut up, Tails, if you've done. Oh! There you go. Thank you, Tails. You did something useful. Oh, come on! Okay, you know what? I'm just flying up there. Okay, I guess that we weren't at the right place. Never mind. Hey there, Mighty Ray and the Gamers. We just get... Yeah, we just did. Tails! There we go. Look what you've done, Tails. Alright, I have an electric shield. It can't actually hurt me. Oh, damn it, the thing hit us. Wait, Tails, fly up, I forgot where we... Tails! Where was... Oh. Hello, Sonic. Alright, what is this again? 3X... Lotto. Oh, we're playing the lottery. All are you gonna do? You can't do anything, Eggman! Yeah, screw your weather. Yeah, screw your weather! There's the error screen. There we go. Isn't it nice to actually play a game that's actually fun? Flying battery returns. I remember hearing this for the first time and just being stuck on the screen just listening to the music. Well, it was, you know, at the start of the level. Oh shit, that's close. I forgot in this game the stuff here actually impacts it. Oh shit. Damn it! Tails, quick! There. do? Oh, it's the Toei Sonic mod. From Mania. It's the Toei Sonic Mania mod. I don't know, I downloaded it years ago at this point. I just found it on my thing with the mod manager. Shouldn't it be raining? Maybe you have to wait a bit for the level for it to rain. Actually, if I recall correctly, if we go down here... Yeah, okay, this is what I was looking for. Okay, now it's actually raining. Okay, that's good. There's perfect raining music. And I like how you can actually break these things, unlike in CD. See, I like how in this game you actually have a chance to use your shields. No, you don't. What are you doing? I can fly, bitch! You can't hit me, you can't hit me. It's because I'm invincible. Oh, yeah. Super Sonic Warrior. Super Sonic It's the Toei Sonic mod. It's Toei Mania. I don't know if it's still around, but I thought I don't know. I just had it on my drive. It's been years since I played Mania. There we go. Alright, we don't even have to use the bumpers here. We can just keep knocking them down. There you go. Make a download link. I don't know where to download it. Hey, we did it! Isn't it on Game Banana? I mean, it should be. Hi, Bird and Cup Gaming. As you can see, Mania I'm the best at. Alright, so this is how we get down to Press Garden Zone. You know, there was a time when this didn't exist, when we didn't have a transition cutscene. It was in Sonic 3. Well, yeah, Flying Battery was in Sonic 3, but, you know, originally you were going to play it before Ice Cap Zone. Oh, shit. Ah, Tails, you fucked it up. Tails, get back down here! No! Tails! No level 3. Well, yeah, well, okay, so in Flying Battery was supposed to come before, Ice Cap, and you would skateboard down the mountain using a Flying Battery door. And that was supposed to be the original thing for Ice Cap Zone. These guys are from, well, we're going to be in Sonic 1. There we go. Oh! Oh, I think we have to do this. What's your favorite metal song? I guess Mecha Sonic. Alright. I just realized the posters they're printing looks like they're Sonic wanted signs. No, I guess not. I'm pretty sure this zone was originally called Pulp Solosis. I'm pronouncing it wrong, but it's in the files. Tails! Oh, look at you done, Tails. This This mod is Junio Sonic for your information. Well, on the title screen it said Toei Mania. I know the actual word is Junio because it wasn't made by Toei, it was made by Junio. You know, Toei kind of just took the credit. Wait, oh, I think that's supposed to be another life! The mod's creator was probably on some well-known chemicals. Come on! Hit the wooden thing! Come on! Hit it, you know, you can do it! Tails, get him! Oh no! It's winter now. It's actually snowing outside a bit. Well, there's snow outside, but it hasn't snowed. For some reason, it's melting now. Fun fact, I found another... I don't know how to make the other characters peel out. I don't really figure it. Well, time to eat some McDonald's french fries. They're selling a triple cheeseburger for $5. Well, actually 6 Canadian dollars. Oh, Press Garden is so fucking beautiful. Just the snow, it's just the music, it just, you know, it reminds me a lot of the 90s a bit. And that guy, that red, like, fly guy is, from Knuckles Chaotix. We played that yesterday. Well, no, 2 days ago we played it. Next. Wait, what do you mean, Fake Master Chief? The Netflix mobile port? Since when was Sonic Mania on mobile? In Netflix, of all places. Check it. Oh my, so are you telling me they ported Sonic Mania to mobile and it was only on Netflix? You know, I could have used this game on my phone back in school, you know? When I was playing this game a lot in 2017. Oh, look what you made me do, Tails. Okay, now we can do this. I messed it up. I'm not a fan of the frozen sprites for the Junio Sonic here. It's a bit weird. Other than that, it's still a great mod. Hello, Kirby's in... Who joined? Oh, hi, Rev.
Hey, what's
We're
up?
streaming Sonic Mania. Oh, wait, I have to give you the link.
Oh, yes, please. Let's get in.
Yeah, unfortunately, I've decided I will play Superstars, but I'm after Mania. But I'm going to play Mania afterwards to get the shit taste out of my mouth. I'm only doing it for continuity purposes. That's the only fucking reason. I'm installing mods so the bosses die in one hit, because I'm not fucking doing that. I'm gonna.
I was gonna say, it's like, if you want, I can jump in for that, and we can share the pain.
Actually, that'd be fun.
Oh, all right. Yeah, just the slow suffering of Rev and Jordan. Oh God.
Oh my, oh wait, I should get the volume mixer out so I can hear your voice better while I play the game, because the game is pretty loud. Here we go, now set Mania to 50.
Get you.
Oh. Oh wait,
And Sonic Mania, the only good classic game out there, if you don't count... Well, honestly, it is kind of accurate. It is the only good one out there.
Yeah, because it actually knows how to make a good game. They actually knew how to optimize everything.
And it gave us fan service without it being overbearing.
Yeah, everything in the game's like a reference to something, you know?
Well, absolutely. The only downside to the game is that, you know, Sega's interferences and the insistence that the, the Phantom Movie be a part of the shit.
Yeah, I don't even think the Phantom Ruby was supposed to be the thing in the game. I think it was supposed to be something else, but then Sega made them change it to the Phantom Ruby.
It was.
Yeah.
Right. From what I remember, they, like, at some point, Headcanon wanted to use either the Super Emeralds or, like, something like that, basically, but Sega said, no, you can't use those. And then immediately said, okay, you're going to use the Phantom Ruby instead, and, well, here we are.
Yeah.
And of course, the worst part of it all is that Headcanon didn't have any idea. Oh yeah, this fucking boss.
Yeah.
Like, I like this boss specifically. Like, it's actually playing into some mechanics that are just not just, hey, I'm going to move over here, now I'm going to move over there.
Well, he's actually, like, he's using the guys from Metropolis Zone as ninja stars. It's funny.
It makes sense, too, because it's like, oh, they'll just get stuck somewhere and then explode.
It's funny. And it fits with the zone as well. There's pink
absolutely.
shells. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, these are basically supposed to be Japanese Sakurai trees, which, frankly, yeah, they look nice, but I personally don't like them.
I mean, this is like the one game I actually like seeing these trees, because it doesn't feel like it's pandering to the anime shit. So I see a lot of modern AAA games do it.
Yeah, because it's so easy to, like, set up a dramatic background with, like, Sakurai trees, where it's like, oh, you know, the symbolizing of the changing of the time, and you know, life begins and death, blah, 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 blah. It's just symbolic crap, and I'm like, you know, leaves change colors and fall off. You could literally do something like this with, like, maple trees, and it would give you the same effect.
Yeah.
Ironically, Metal Gear Solid 3 actually got this right by giving us a completely different plan for the final boss. I'm just trying to find what it's called.
Also, hi, no one. You say you're a Sonic fan.
Alright, prove it. Name every Sonic game. Go. No, I'm kidding. Let me see here. Blah, blah, blah. Medical plants. It basically was like this weird flower at the end of the game where basically, no, I think it was called Rokovoj Berry, which is a specific kind of plant. Basically, they change rapid colors when they're about to die. And so in the final boss, they're all white, and then when Snake kills his mentor, they all go red. just as they like die out and you shot her. Again, that's how you do it.
Yeah.
Again, you don't need this bullshit like, oh, but the Sakurai plans and then all this. Like, I'm sorry, Japan, but you've ruined plans for a lot of people.
Yeah. Well, at least Stardust Speedway is cool here.
Oh, absolutely.
Sky.
I do like the organic and machine motifs here. It's a pretty cool concept. It's a nice combination of like nature and technology coming together in a fascinating way.
Yeah, that's a big theme of Sonic CD. I really like because that's the thing I didn't like about Sad AM, because it was like, oh, technologies, like, I don't like black and white technology, bad nature is good messages, because like that's completely short-sighted thinking. You know, it's better to like have it like technology and nature coexisting.
Yeah, like what as a lot of Transformers fans like to dunk on, but it is true. Beast Machines try to play into that a bit.
Yeah.
It failed miserably, but you know, it tried.
Yeah.
Yeah. I find it just like I never understand that, like, oh, nature good, technology bad aspect, because it's like, you know, nature sucks, right? There are animals that literally eat penises.
Yeah. You know, I feel like the people, like, pushing that shit, they just want to weaken people. They want to make them, like, think technology's bad, so they'll give up, like, you know, like what fucking Ken Penders was doing, where he's like, all the echidnas had to give up their technology. It's like, I think you're just wanting people to give up their fucking firearms just so that you can conquer them easier, you know?
Because let's face it, Ken is literally that asshole on the college campus that's like, oh, you know, listen to my 3-hour seminar about why guns bad and this good. It's like, fuck off, Ken. Nobody gives a shit. You live in infamy and you will die unsung. Not even your cat will miss you.
If it had super emeralds, it would make sense. Yeah, fake Master Chief, it would.
I'm sorry, the name is what's getting fake Master Chief. It's just someone with like the inverted colors. It's like, oh yeah, I'm totally John Halo.
He has the Doom guy profile picture. I think that's the joke.
That's even better. Oh, by the way, I'm still depressed that fucking for secret levels we were going to have a Doom Halo crossover episode and Microsoft pulled out. Fucking cowards! Yeah,
it's like it's so fucking annoying. It's like they're doing everything to make Halo fail. It's like totally by design.
Could you imagine how that would have gone? Like, just picture it. Master Chief going in, taking out, like, the aliens, the Covenant, whatever he's, like, fighting, and then you just see the Slayer come in, literally ripping something apart, and they just kind of, like, go, like, yeah, let's kill shit.
Yeah! I don't know, I feel like I don't know, they just don't want to do anything fun. You know, they just hate fun.
Secret level... Yeah, Secret Level was like a hit or miss. Like, you had some decent ones with, like, the ones that are like, oh, we don't know what we're doing, we're just gonna make whatever the fuck we can. Again, the Pac-Man one, I think, is the biggest example, where it's like, why the fuck, what is this arcane bullshit? Why would you do this? It's fucking Pac-Man.
Yeah.
And, I love the fact that the fucking, oh god, what's it called? The Concord episode was just as bad as we expected.
Yeah. Oh, there's one thing I want to say here about Stardust Speedway. You can actually, in Mania's CD levels, you can actually see the bad future being made in progress. You can notice details from that.
Oh. That's a smart move.
Yeah, I'll point it out more when we get to Metallic Madness. So that'll be important. And we're gonna fight Metal Sonic Kai, but blue now, and weaker.
I like to imagine that in the context of everything, because, you know, you played Knuckles Chaotix, and I like to imagine in the context of everything, the new Kai form is like, again, that copy data ability he has. So it's like, I don't have these world rings in my possession, but I have the data, and I'll kind of reformat myself to be a facsimile.
Yeah.
Again, I think it worked really well. And I'm just wishing there was a 3D version of the model so I can actually do shit.
See, there's one in, like, there's a Generations mod for it, but no one has put it on, like, Gary's mod or anything like that.
Unfortunately. Though I do know folks, so maybe I can get, like, some negotiations going.
There's the tiny Metal Sonic.
This unfortunate I just kind of feel bad for him at the end of the day. It's like, Jesus Christ. Actually, doesn't this boss specifically have like fake Amy's that can come out?
No, that's in Metallic Madness.
Oh, okay. So I'm thinking of a different level. It's so comical to see that this is what like again, one of the many prototype stages of Metal Sonic. It's like, oh, again, Eggman's like, I'm going to make Metal Sonic, but I'm going to make him smaller, and faster. So what do you mean he just blew up? What do you mean Sonic just one-tapped it? What the fuck? Oh, that would be perfect. But yeah, even the dog agrees.
I do not know why he's barking. Hold on, I should check on them. I'll be right back.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll just be here with the massive, so yeah.
What's wrong, Kane? Kane, what's wrong?
But yes, it's this is pretty commonplace, and hopefully things kind of keep going well. Again, I just still find it funny that you got this little goober in the background, basically like, woo. That was from an older game before season. True. Excuse me. It's just still weird to imagine that, because again, you kind of see the design evolution of Metal Sonic. You see like the design concepts for like the robotic duplicates of Sonic. You've got the one in Sonic 2, which is like more of a heavily armored, death machine. And then you get the Sonic CD version, which is like, that's actually not a, like, this is the perfected form. And then you got the one before that, which was the mini Metal Sonic, and then Mecha Sonic, to fight Knuckles. It's like, wow. But after that, we really don't see a lot of, like, innovation, improvement, changes to Metal Sonic since then. Like, he's been stuck in one, like, canonically speaking, by Eggman. There's been no new attempts to redesign or rebuild Metal Sonic. It's just kind of, we'll just leave it as is. I mean, I don't mind it, but at the same time, I would like to see what crazy concept he would come up with, and then immediately lose his shit over when it eventually either A, betrays him, or absolutely fails to stop Sonic. In either scenario, it's going to be hilarious. Go ahead. Speak your one question. Let's see. Sorry, there's a slight pause and everything. What the hell 06 is? Well, 06's concept, like, in terms of, like, both in-universe and out-of-universe, is kind of direct. 06 was supposed to be, like, the big reboot to the Sonic franchise and kind of like a push away from the classic games to something a bit more serious and grounded in reality. It was also kind of like a concept to push the cutting edge of technology. So instead of a stylized approach to Sonic games and everything that was going on at the time, they wanted to take it to a much more realistic approach and kind of play around with, like, Sonic in a real setting, basically. But, it obviously didn't go anywhere. The reboot plan kind of went south when basically the feedback wasn't that great even from the developers, so they just kind of put it back into like we're just going to make it like a standard Sonic game, kind of have it play into the bigger series. In universe, basically, it's time travel logic is kind of weird. The Sonic series has always kind of played around with it. The best explanation I can give is that you mean the big mistake from the classic? Yes, basically. Um, but basically, in universe, it's more of a concept of yes, the events of Sonic 06 did happen, but it at the same time, at least blowing out the flame and it not existing also happened. So it's one of those weird. It exists as part of the timeline, but it's connected by the most thin threads of time and reality and all that kind of crazy stuff. I mean, we've got it confirmed with Shadow Generation. Yeah, I know it's Sonic Shadow Generation, whatever you want to call it, but I'd prefer to call it Shadow Generations because let's face it, that is basically what this game is in a nutshell. But basically, that game basically confirmed that Mephiles is aware and exists outside of time, just like Silver does. But the difference is that where Silver can kind of go back and forward into the future without any major repercussions that causes it, Mephiles is just stuck outside of time, aware of it but can't be a part of it.
I'm back.
And welcome back.
I just took the dog out and got a refill of the Slurpee.
Welcome back. I was just answering a few questions here, but it's all good. Yeah, I know. Time travel is convoluted and strange. Don't try to make sense of it. It happened and it didn't happen. And leave it at that. Honestly, though, like I said, I'm just glad that this game exists and we do see, like, what would have happened had the sort of like pixel-based games continued, and I think Headcanon did a fantastic job.
They wanted to do it hand-drawn before. I like how there's actually a checkpoint in this boss, unlike Superstars. There he is.
But yeah, well, again, I can see why Sega said no, because unfortunately, while hand-drawn games are good, it would take literal years of animation work to kind of get that out the door. I mean, there's a reason why Cuphead takes so long to get its games and expansions out.
Oh, kick the damn Phantom Ruby away. Well, we would have had that hand-drawn game by now if it was made during 2018.
True, but again, Sega be Sega and decides, you know what? No, we won't do the cool thing. We'll just do the bad thing and pretend we intended this all along. I'm sorry, this fucking thing always kind of freaks me out.
What, Titanic Monarch?
Yeah, like there's just towards the end there's always such a weird theme with everything. Like I know it's supposed to be the bad future concept, but it's still kind of like oof.
It's kind of like, well, it's kind of weird because it looks like its design is kind of religious in a way. Like inside of the Titanic Monarch, it has the hard-boiled heavies like on like godlike murals, I guess you could say. I've seen people say that it's because it's like it might have been a brainwashing like mech that would make people like religious for Eggman or something like that, or the hard-boiled heavies.
Right. And again, I think this kind of leans back into the problem with the fucking Phantom movie because, again, I want to mention this beforehand. You know, Sega wanted the Phantom movie to have it all connected to like Sonic Forces and yada yada yada. And the big thing about it is that, as far as I understand it, Headcanon had asked Sega, hey, what does the Phantom movie do? Like, what should we expect of it, right? And Sega never told them, like, oh, it just does this. So that's why there's such a massive disconnect between the version we see in this game and the version we see in Forces. Basically, the concept here in, what's it called? Oh, geez, I'm trying to think of the right word here. The version of the Phantom Ruby we see here is supposed to alter reality itself. So you see, like, again, the hard-boiled heavies are supposed to be from another reality. A lot of these like changes and alterations are supposed to be like, again, things from one reality coming over to another, and therefore this is where these changes are coming from. Blah 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 blah. apparently Sega wasn't too much of a fan of that concept and chose to have the Phantom movie redepicted as not pulling from other realities but creating physical holographic images or physical holographic copies of things it's encountered.
Yeah, I noticed that in Forces because Infinite like turns into like some chaos thing for some reason, like in the Metropolis.
And again, right, and again, it leans back into the thing where Forces had a laid out plan and had an idea where it was. Finish that thought since he's clearly need attempt something. You should play Sonic Galactic, but first watch the trailer. It's peak. I will Google that real quick and see what that game is about. It sounds weirdly familiar. Also, hello, Chaos Friends. Hold on, let's see here. Sonic. Let me see here. Sonic Galactic. Alright, here we are. Oh, I see. It's a. Oh, I'm blanking on the word. It's another pixel-based Sonic game. And pinball. Sonic Pinball. Yes, exactly. The peak of Sonic gameplay right there. The pinball game. Alright, I'll send the word to him when he gets back. This looks fun. Both normal and pinball. Yes, exactly. The peak of all people. Oh dear. Oh dear, dear, dear. Okay. It's an interesting game. Who made this? Let's see here. Sonic Galactic. Interpretation of what the 2D side-scrolling images of Sonic series could look like if 32-bit 5th generation hard drive. It's okay. Let me see here. Is it fully released or is it just a demo? Let me see here. Sonic CD, blah, 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 blah. Not seeing it. To look into this, characters include. Who the fuck is this? Tunnel. Tunnel the what? Okay, so one of the characters is called Tunnel the Mole. First Earth to Illusion Island. Okay, so that's interesting. A fan character. Kind of looks like something that would have worked in the classic age. I do appreciate that. And Vector. That's it. So you can play as either Sonic, Knuckles, Tails, Fang, Vector, and this Tunnel character. Okay. Something to look into. I just hope it doesn't get hit with the Sega C and D. But then again, if it does, we've seen what happens when fan games get smacked down. Excuse me. Smacked down like that. They oftentimes wind up coming back as a new fan form. It was the most overrated and underrated Sonic game. That is a hard one because there's been so many fucking games out there. It's more of a personal preference thing. I'm gonna say most overrated probably is gonna be. Are we counting remasters? Because if that's the case, I'm going to go with Sonic Colors. The remastered edition is the most overrated, and that fucking thing didn't work at launch. Most underrated Sonic game. That's hard. I want to say. I'm going to say Sonic the Fighters, simply for the novelty of the game and the fact that you could beat the fuck out of your friends, and there was some interesting mechanics and concepts there, introductions of new characters. Freddy Fazbear, no, we're not doing that. But yeah, I would say those are my picks at the end of the day. Let's see. Let me think. So you got that going on. I want to say. Sorry, I'm also just kind of thinking. I wouldn't count Boom amongst overrated or underrated. I think it was just. It exists. It was there. It was a game that we were aware of, and then it just kind of fizzled out of the public consciousness after like what 2-3 years, just poof into the ether. Let's see. No. Again, I'm just looking at that. No. Let me see. Oh, hello. TLC Knuckles 1514. Welcome to the stream. Our intrepid host is currently away at the moment, so I'm just filling for time while he gets back. So hello, welcome. Yeah. How about that local sports team? No, I'm kidding. Let's see here. Let's see. Right. Honestly, I think some things should return for the Sonic franchise. I think a lot of people have been begging for years for a return to the Chow Garden stuff. Personally speaking, I've never been big on Chow raising or Chow racing personally. I feel like it's a fun concept. It's something you can do between stages, raise a digital pet. It's the apex of early 2000s pet raising stuff. But there's a hunger for it. I think some would do well, and frankly, I think there could be an interesting side game you can do of just strictly focusing on that. The Chow Garden, Sonic Edition, something like that. Like a small handheld or a spin-off game, or basically anything like that could help. Let's see, my choice is Sonic Frontiers is the best, and worst is Sonic 1GP. Oh, yeah, nothing competes with that fucking thing. Like, way back in the day, when I was but a young lad growing up in this crazy world. I recalled that a lot of...
Back.
Welcome back. What's up?
Sorry, my parents came home. They were just telling me they got me stuff because they're going to be gone for the weekend.
Okay, no problem. I was just regaling people about my experience here with Sonic GBA.
Oh, GBA? What's that again? Wait, isn't that the
Sonic
shitty...
Sonic game.
Isn't it the shitty port?
Yes.
Oh.
And what I was going to say is, way back in the day when I was but a young lad, I was with, or I was in a school that was big on a lot of like the trendy stuff or whatever, right? And so you had Yu-Gi-Oh players, you had Pokemon card players, collectors, gamers, every like shade you could see, right? And one of the big things was people wanted to try out the latest games and everything. And I remember someone bringing in Sonic, the GBA port, and the Game Boy, and I was like, okay, I'll give this a shot. Let me try it. I got further than most through sheer stubbornness and determination, and I have never touched that fucking thing ever again because it was as bad as you can imagine. It was slow, choppy frame rate. It was almost impossible to play the game because almost every single encounter you would have was just unplayable. You couldn't move quickly, you couldn't achieve top speed. It would slow down and then speed up at sudden, uncontrollable points. The music, the sound, everything sounded horrendous and atrocious. And I remember playing and being like, what the fuck is this? Ironically, this had been, at the time, because I was mostly a PlayStation kid, this was the first time I had ever touched a Sonic game, though it wouldn't be the last.
Oh, really?
Yes, and all I could recall was, I thought Sonic was supposed to be fast. Why is this game so sucky? course, my cousin, or one of my richer cousins, he got all the like fancy little toys and shit, and of course a lot of the big games out there. And I remember watching him be so depressed when he got Sonic on the GBA, and was like just throwing not even a tantrum. It was just throwing a fit over it because it was such a bad game. It was like, man, why is it so bad? I'm like, but you know, that's life. Also, I find this boss somewhat hilarious.
It's just fucking funny. We get to use the Eggmobile against Eggman.
Yeah, I think this is one of the rare instances where this actually happened.
Yeah. Other than Superstars, I guess, when, you know, well, they're not really using it, but...
Kinda, you're kind of like taking, well, basically you're getting your hands on some older models and flying them out into space. I'm not counting that because it's kind of like a weird shooter.
Yeah. For some reason, yes. Sonic Superstars and Frontiers had obsessions of that.
Because reasons. No, I agree. Labyrinth Zone and Spring Yard Zone were some of the worst on the GBA because you couldn't really do precise platforming because the game would sporadically either speed you up or slow you down. So your jumps would be messed up, your abilities to really get across the levels would also be thrown through a loop. And you would kind of like just struggle. And all I could imagine, like, I can't imagine someone going through that level on the GBA port and having anything but pain and suffering.
There's some poor kid out there who got that shitty port and just thought that was how Sonic was.
Oh, absolutely. It's like, this is what I always say. It's like, if you're going to create games or do games that people like and people want to experience, right? It's important for you to make sure that whatever port you do is of the best version of the game. You shouldn't do a port that's just the worst, you know? Like, don't half-ass it just because it's a cash grab. Don't do anything awful like that. Just actually, like, give the care and dedication it deserves. Because every game is going to be someone's first game, and lo and behold, if it sucks like that, you're going to turn people off.
And that's what happens with Sonic Adventure. Because, like, people played the shitty, like, ports of them, that people just assume they're just buggy games. But if you actually played the original games, you realize that, you know, they weren't actually like that. And there's mods to fix it, thankfully, but most people aren't going to be like me and get a mod.
Or risk it, either.
Yeah. I mean, most people want convenience. You're not going to, like, installing mods isn't the most convenient thing.
Right. Like, it's more of a risk to, like, go through, because sometimes you get a mod that absolutely bricks the whole game, or you'll get something that, like, will clash with something else. I remember playing a Skyrim mod. Like, I literally started to do the Skyrim modding. First thing I did, and every character just wound up not working. I was like, okay, we're not touching this again. And that's also because I have no interest in like, spending time going crazy with mods at, you know, at any sort of pace.
Yeah.
It's not for the sake of one inconvenience, it's more of the sake of, like, I just don't have space on my fucking computer anymore.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's neither here nor there. Ah, boy. Oh, that reminds me. I'm in talks with a porter to start doing some jobs for me for Gary's mod. I don't know if I should ask this or not, but I do have in my possession some Concorde models.
No.
Should I ask them? Should I ask? Should I go to this motherfucker and say, like, listen, for the memes?
Oh no. I don't know, I feel like it's a waste of, like, a good port, you know? By the way, speaking of things that are good, I love the background and music of Hyper City here. It's so good in Mania.
Oh yeah, it's, again, that's something that should be praised about, you know, Mania as a whole. It goes hard with the music and the motifs in a way that I don't think many games can. I'm just sad that headcanon can do like the MIDI sort of sound well, but then you get someone like Jun Sonoa and they're like, yeah, we can't do it.
Well, yeah, it's like T-Lopes gave Mania its own like soundtrack vibe. Like it uses that brass in it really well. So I just it's like the trumpets they have in it, but you know, it's they need to not like make classic Sonic music based on like the Genesis stuff. They have to make it based on Sonic CD. That's what they should be doing. They shouldn't be stuck trying to emulate the Genesis.
It's a misguided understanding of what makes the Sonic IP good. And again, it kind of flies back into the whole thing of like, you know, Sonic was good because of his pixel root, and then this, and then that, and then that, and you're just kind of sitting there and going like, can we just have a decent game, you know?
Yeah.
And ironically, I think most of the original creators for Sonic have left by now. I know that Yuji Naka got fucking arrested. Sorry. Like, I know I shouldn't be laughing, but that makes me... It's such a weird fucking thing to say. Oh, Sonic's creator, he got arrested. For what? Insider trading.
Insider trading.
It's just one of those things, it's like, when you hear it, you just kind of go like, how the fuck did this happen? Why the fuck did this happen? It's just a lot out there.
It's
That's it,
I don't know. It's just like they had like something that could have worked. It's just like you said, they just misunderstand. Well, Mania understands what, you know, the way classic Sonic has to evolve.
Which is just have fun and play with the concepts more than just, oh, we're just gonna do the bare minimum.
Yeah, and honestly, I'd argue classic Sonic shouldn't even be limited by, like, he's not able to speak, he's not able to... Yeah, it has to be 2D, like, it should just be a younger, like, it should be just the earlier version of the Sonic, history, you know? It should just be a more simpler Sonic, you know, timeline. You know, it gives the stuff you like from modern, but more simple, you know? Oh, speaking of which, right. Tails is wearing his OVA pilot, like, helmet here.
Oh. It's always such a shame that the OVA never started anything, you know?
Yeah.
Like, oh, welcome back, that's what I find very interesting, because we know for a fact that, you know, anything that Sega does with Sonic to try and start, like, something, you know, any crazy out there experiment, they always, like, try to introduce that into something else. Not the OVA. It was a one-and-done deal, and poof, just gone.
And the most we get from the OVA is either from the movies, because they reference it a lot, or from some other like stuff nobody cares about, and that's Sonic related, you know?
Right. And I think that's the weirdest thing, because we know for a fact Sega wanted a continuity with Sonic's like stories and things like that, or some of the concepts, and the OVA was very clearly yeah, exactly. Put down like a dog. Jesus. But yeah, it's what it is that I think with the Sonic OVA specifically is that you had something here. And again, at the time, we're talking about mid-90s, late 90s, early 2000s, you know, around this ballpark era sort of period. They were trying to make Sonic into two things. You had two different continuities, the Western continuity and the Japanese continuity. And what I find just the most peculiar about this whole thing is that with the OVA, nothing ever really came from Japan. There wasn't any like Sonic the anime or Sonic this, you know, based on the OVA setting. It was just a one-and-done story, and then poof, gone, completely.
Yeah, it was supposed to be like its own Sonic thing, but I guess nobody picked it up. So they kind of just made it an OVA.
Right, I think it, what was it, Toei, I think was behind this?
Yeah.
Toei, whichever they...
I don't know, I forget who exactly did it.
Right, but whoever it was, it's like, this is the thing, like, keep in mind during the mid-90s and early 2000s, for, like, Japanese media, especially when it came to, like, what's it called, animes and adaptations like that, you really only had the major players at the time, and there was a massive massive fucking oversaturation of anime out there. Like for every decent, like, God, I'm dating myself with all this, Cowboy Bebop, you had Nel Hazard just out there in the background. For every like decent fucking thing, there was 100 different like projects that went fucking nowhere. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to think of like some examples. You had again Cowboy Bebop, Evangelion, Yu Yu Hakusho, Dragon Ball at the time, Trigun, like all these shows and shit, and it was out there, and it was like you had something interesting. But the problem was, is again, the studios were picking up these animes left, right, and sideways, and not all of them were going to wind up being a huge fucking success. Half of them wound up never making it past the season or two, and usually died as soon as they started. And then you had that situation where it's like, poof, how do I put it? It was a risk and a gamble, and so I'm guessing at the time, because let's face it, Sonic 8 hasn't exactly been mainstream in Japan for a very long time.
Yeah.
The simple fact of the matter is that I don't think any anime studio saw the OVA as anything more than a risk not worth taking.
Honestly, I have kind of headcanon that the Land of the Sky is just where Little Planet goes when it disappears, you know? That's kind of what I have headcanon. Because, like, you know, the Sonic CD and the OVA are pretty much connected, you know?
Right. The same art style from the start of the OVA, or sorry, the start of Sonic CD and the OVA. It's basically the same thing.
Yeah.
Again, I just find it peculiar that you never saw, what's it called? You never saw this go far, you know? Like, the OVA was a one-and-done deal. Ironically, there's nothing that's been done with the OVA since its initial inception. There's been no attempt to return to the little, I almost said the Little Planet. No, that's been done to death 100 times over, no. There's been no attempt to come back to the Land of the Sky. There's been no attempt to reintroduce these characters or bring back, you know, Eggman's Enforcers or anything like that. It was, like I said, one and done thing, and then it just kind of moved on.
It's such a shame, because I actually liked the characters I had. Like, I just found it funny. I found it funny how, like, Sarah was just not taking the hostage thing seriously. She literally said, "I'll stop being your hostage" to Robotnik.
And he's like, "Okay, start another game." So that's another thing as well. I love the little. There was something interesting about Robotnik in this, where it was very clearly the game design, but they gave him a personality and they animated him in such a way where he comes off as, how do I put it, charming, basically. There's no, like, malice, there's no real evil to him. He's sort of like a dumpy, doofus sort of character, but he still keeps that menace to some degree, you know? Mischievous, that's it. He's mischievous.
Yeah.
You know, like, the small details, like him launching the rabbit missile, and then you got the turtle, and he's like, you know, when he sees it go off, he goes, "Yes!" What? Just sees the turtle flying in, only for said turtle to later ruin his plans, quite literally by blowing up the CD with the Metal Sonic data. Again, this is what we call setup and punchline.
Yeah, it's always good to have that moment. I think it's called Chekhov's gun or whatever, where you just gotta set it up earlier in the movie.
It is.
Which the Sonic movies do that a lot with their things. Like in Sonic 2, with Sonic not being able to swim later reappearing, or like Sonic having his chest be touched, you know, during that thing. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, Chekhov's gun. If you mention a rifle in one chapter, in chapter 1, by chapter 2 and chapter 3, it has to go off.
Yeah.
And that's exactly the case. It's that movie did an extremely good job, and again, I just feel sad that nothing ever came of this setting. Like, literally, the design, the settings, the characters, it all just kind of remains isolated to one little corner of the Sonic fandom. Which, again, I'm fine with. I also want to mention this. Have you noticed that almost in any anime out there, whenever there is a fat character, they are rarely portrayed as the butt of a joke?
Yeah, I've noticed that.
the funny thing is, I think this relates to, well, the fact that, again, Japan sort of venerates sumos and the whole obese concept, so it kind of makes sense.
Well, it's not like everyone there is obese, like in Western countries, you know? It's not like... Heavy Magician is pretending, pretending to be, these guys. Speaking of fat characters, it's Bart.
First introduced in Sonic the Fighters and hasn't been seen ever since.
Hello, Sonic and Amy in the chat. And by the way, yes, we did watch Sonic Movie 3, Ashton Barnes.
Yes, it was a good. Again, I think I've said. Well, did I say this publicly, or was this just in private chat?
I don't know. Well, were we talking about the movie in public chat, or I don't remember.
Well, if it wasn't on stream, then I'll just say it here. I felt like the film was well done. It was pretty decent. A fun concept. It really played with Sonic 2 or Sonic Adventure 2 concept and just kind of threw it over its head. The only things I wasn't particularly a fan of was Gerald's the changes to Gerald, and just how the story kind of went in terms of like the whole Maria subplot and everything like that. Mostly because it sort of takes away the tragedy of Maria's having that whole, basically space AIDS and all that stuff, and focusing it more on the ground. It's space AIDS, alright, the creator flat out admitted it was based on AIDS. It's now canon. Maria had a form of AIDS that could only be treated in space. But yes, I felt like the film, like again, there was fun moments. I felt the film was pretty decent. There were some minor things that I think detracted from the film, just very, very small moments here and there. Mostly with some characters, but overall it was pretty damn good.
I mean, they got Shadow's character, right? You know?
Oh, absolutely.
Like, it's been a while since we've had that. A long time.
Oh yeah, hurt by trauma, but it doesn't let it define him.
Yeah, and he's not acting like a egotistical, like, prick to everyone, like in, more recent Sonic media. That's how they, represent Shadow.
Right. He's down to earth, he's hurt, but he has his moments, such as when he tells Knuckles boo. Again, you have no reason to do this. You could have just knocked him out and called it a day. No, you went the extra mile.
Yeah.
And you were a dick.
It's just like fucking Chief in Halo 2.
Poop. That's still my fucking favorite. I just wish, there's just, again, minor things here and there. The film did fantastic, and I'm so glad it is a success, and has successfully reminded Disney that their rule has come to its halting end.
Yeah. Because everyone will remember Sonic 3, no one will remember Mid-Fossa.
Yes. The story of literal cucking.
Cuck! You got cuck.
Oh, I'm sorry. Every time I say that, even though I know what cuck is supposed to be, all I can think of is that one Snap Cube moment with Eggman. Just, I'm being cucked by a hedgehog, how do you think I feel?
Alright.
Oh, it's perfect. Still, overall, I do enjoy what the film did. And I do like the big sort of, what's it called? The cliffhangers for both of these. Shadow's Return and something going on with Metal Sonic. Again, my hope is we get to see Metallic Sonic. I would love nothing more.
Yeah, I feel like they might do that. I feel like they might do Sonic CD, and I feel like if they're gonna do Heroes, they're just gonna have Metal Overlord like as like the final thing, and we'll finally get a kaiju fight in the Sonic movies because we've never gotten that. Oh, that would be. Because Sonic's just known for fighting like kaijus.
I can see that. You see Neo Metal Sonic being the main antagonist, basically being, I imagine, powerful, confident, kind of like Emperor Nefarious from Ratchet & Clank. That same sort of like ego and general confidence he exudes. And then when that confidence breaks and he turns into Metal Overlord, it's just... I don't want to say it would be one-to-one, what's it called, one-to-one like in Sonic, Sonic Heroes, but something close to that, just the rage has consumed his mind.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, Disney trying to buy Sonic. As if Sega would give up their fucking cash cow.
I mean, they can't, they would never fucking do that, man.
Let's see. I want to learn more about this because Fake Master Chief has brought this up, and I want to see this. Let's see here.
Oh, here's the fire shield. Oh, burning up oil motion.
Yeah, I love the fact that this was a joke for years, posted by some Call Me Johnny, and Ican's like, you know what? Challenge accepted. Burn, causing an oil motion fire.
Well, it's just crazy, because, no games, after, they never really capitalized off the elemental shields, and it's disappointing.
Well, I can see why, because, again, some of the elemental shields could cause gameplay issues, like the electric shield in water, or, minor fucking things like that. But at the same time, I'm like, it's a fictional game, let's just have fun with this shit, come on.
Well, it just would make zones way more, interesting. In many ways.
No, true. Yeah, okay, so apparently it's mostly rumor, but there's credibility behind it. Apparently Disney wants to buy, what's it called? To buy the IP, but hasn't been as successful.
No! I might have to actually do the octopus boss fight legit.
Oh, no. I have to actually play the game, but... no, it's apparently they weren't trying to buy Sonic, they're trying to buy Sega.
What? Sega's doing fine. I mean, if this was 2020, I'd understand that. But it's
oh god.
Sonic's not it's I think they misunderstand. Sonic's not on the bottom anymore, Sonic's on top. And Disney's on the bottom, and they're staying there. Hopefully forever.
I just find that comical. It's they're like, Sega, I know we've had our differences, but we're here to buy your entire company out for $2 million. Get the fuck out of my office. It's just Mr. Sega doesn't fuck off. God. I wish I could see, I wish I could be in that boardroom to see that happening. Yeah, no, that's not gonna happen. Fuck off. Oh man, it's just comical. Actually, I need to see this now. There's something else I noticed I forgot to mention. Right. Nintendo Land is being constructed here in Florida. Can't wait to see how that goes. Yes, and the predictions are already coming in. Apparently, if this goes through, what's it called? If this goes through, there's a prediction that attendance at Disney's parks is going to plummet. I'm all for it. I will personally make that drive all the way out to Florida, and I will go to Nintendo Land just to enjoy it. My hope is that I get to take photos with Mario. Oh my god, it's the real Mario! I'm kidding. It's either that or Samus. I would kill to have my photo with Samus.
Yeah, finally some fun entertainment.
Oh yeah. From what I understand, they are including, for this attraction location, a restaurant, some rides, a general kind of Nintendo area, factory, this sort of stuff. So if true, I will be enjoying every second of it, and I will try a mushroom burger.
Mushroom burger.
I would, if they have themed food, I'm going to die. I will die a very, very happy fat man.
Oh, here we are, Lava Reef Zone, where we somehow, the submarine made it all the way up to Angel Island, and somehow got from Oil Ocean, from West Side Island to here.
Well, what we don't see is that it secretly has turbines.
Well, it looked like it was flying more than, like, actually, like, swimming, so... Oh, wait, yeah, I didn't even have to do this anymore. I just skipped it. Oh, fuck.
I wonder what else this is gonna have. Again, I'm tempted to, like, start investing in Disney just to get involved in those stockholder meetings and listen to them panic. And then be that asshole that says, okay, so what about this over here? Just cause all sorts of problems. Like, I am an investor in this company, and I am not pleased. Actually, funnily enough, I should like. It would basically be the same as that one scene in Killzone. Nobody's played it. It's a brief cutscene where basically you have one of these high-ranking Helgen basically trying to reassure the Senate, claiming that they've routed the enemy and that they'll be taken within the hour or something, right? And then they're all clapping, they're like, yes, this is very good. And then you've got this one asshole on the other end of the table saying, am I missing something here? What about this tank group on the left? And he even says, are you ignoring this on purpose, or is this part of some bold military strategy we're not aware of?
That's funny.
And I would probably recreate that at the board meeting and say, and what about this universal project here on the left? Are we ignoring this on purpose, or is this part of some new marketing strategy that we don't know about?
You see Sonic movie 4, or are we just ignoring this for whatever bullshit we're releasing 2020?
Am I the only one? Like, am I the only one who's absolutely not lost their minds right now?
That's a good question.
Oh god, Disney has absolutely failed. I can hear it from here. Walt is spinning in his tomb.
It's just all his IP just completely, like, this was like a very... yeah, I mean, it's deserved. Every, like, Disney being treated like shit like this. They deserve it.
Oh, absolutely. Shitty business practices not included, of course.
Exactly.
Just... excuse me. It's just so funny. Again, Walt Disney's corpse has spun so much it has achieved self-propulsion at this point. I'm sure if we hook up his remains to some generator, we'll achieve faster-than-light travel within the year. It's like, quick, Walt, stop spinning. What do we tell him? Snow White failed. Ah, there he goes.
Oh, my.
Now, speaking of Snow White, apparently that fucking bit... What's her fucking name?
Rachel Zelda, whatever it is.
Yes, Rachel Hitler. Yes, I went there. But yes, this idiot, she's basically, like, apparently, from what I heard, and again, this is just a rumor, so take it as such. Apparently, she's let her mouth talk so fucking much that Disney's actually put a gag order on her.
Yeah, she was, like, insulting Trump supporters. Like, it's like, like after the election, it's like, oh, good idea, idiot. Wait to it's like, are you trying? It's like...
Are you trying to make us lose money? Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's like... And she gave some fake-ass apology for it. It's like, after that, she's, like, been silent.
Oh, yes. Well, it isn't just that. She's also been causing all sorts of problems, basically. She's not assuaged the concerns of the fans. She's said stupid shit. Constantly trying to, like, denigrate the original Snow White film, which, ironically, there's a reason why, I almost said Sega, why Disney is so protective of this fucking thing. It's because it's what launched the entire Disney brand. It's the first major success they've had. And so naturally, imagine what would happen, right, if their premier star just basically shot all over this thing. Yeah. Oh, look at that. Our legacy is not only tarnished, we are fucked.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just... I just want to see this unfold. I want to see the flame just consume it. I'm sure people are going to go out there and support it, you know, because, again, let them support it. Let people enjoy the films they want to. I will never sit here and say they shouldn't. But at the same time, at some point, you must realize how utterly fucked this whole thing has become.
Exactly.
It's just a tragedy at the end of the day. Well, a tragedy within a tragedy. And we'll just continue to watch the train wreck unfold. Speaking of train wrecks, apparently Ubisoft is preparing to file for bankruptcy. They are banking so fucking hard on Assassin's Creed Shadow doing well, which, by the way, I don't know if this was intentional marketing or not, or someone's majorly screwed the pooch, but they're releasing it in, well, actually, they're releasing it sometime this month, apparently. Smack dab in the middle of, you guessed it, Black History Month.
No, I thought they delayed it to... I think they delayed it to some insulting Japanese date. Like, they really messed up on that. Like, it was like the date of some massacre or something, I think, that happened in Japan that they delayed it to. And then, you know, it's just like, as if you needed to insult the culture as much as you already done. Like.
Let's see. 1 week ago, here we go. According to this, Assassin's Creed Shadows delayed again, now set for March 20th release date. And Assassin's Creed Shadows feels like do it or die, and Ubisoft knows it. By fans since first and second day, blah 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 blah. Let me see. February 20th. I need to see this. According to this, February the 20th in Japan is marked by a number of anniversaries, including the completion of the Mura building, Japan's first public election, and the arrest of Kobayashi Takei. Let's see here. So these are the Kobayashi Takeshi, author of the Kani Kosen, the Floating Crabs Cannery, was arrested, tortured, and murdered. Oh dear. Let's see here. Other events are the Plum Blossom Festival, a festival that celebrates the approaching spring and the peak of winter. The Snow Festival, the festival that showcases Japan's natural beauty and the energy of its people, and Emperor's Birthday, a public holiday that celebrates the birth of the reigning emperor. Japan also celebrates National Foundation Day, which is a public holiday that commemorates the founding of the nation. Oh. That's it.
Yeah.
So, we're going to commemorate the founding of Japan as a nation. We at Ubisoft have decided that we're going to release this incredibly offensive game to you. No need to thank us. We're already fucked.
It's so deserving.
That's fantastic. Oh, absolutely. They cannot win in this scenario. Like, again, Ubisoft is preparing for bankruptcy, and apparently a Chinese game development, no, sorry, not Chinese, a Saudi Arabian game development studio is actually looking to buy them out completely. Curious to see how that will go.
Exactly.
Well, first, I'm pretty sure they're just going to start killing off the gay characters in the series because, let's face it, that's kind of their agenda. Let's see here.
Oh no.
Not much else.
The Heavy Rider is here. Did you know her Motobug is named after Jimmy?
Really?
Yeah, so Jimmy is the guy who made the Sonic Motobug ROM hack, but he died in a car accident, so they named the Motobug after him to, you know, remember his memory.
That's nice. Honestly, I always love it when game developers remember those that, you know, have passed. And do these wonderful little tributes, you know?
Yeah.
Hell, even Warframe's done it a few times. Fun fact, in Warframe, there was a fan character called Clem. And basically this was done by a Redditor, a huge fan of the series, and Digital Extremes, the game devs, loved Clem so much, and the concept of him, and the fact that he was so popular within the community, that they decided to make the character canon, and you can actually do a quest with the character involved. Unfortunately, though, the creator of this mod, Data Reaper, as he was known, passed away. But to commemorate his passing, and to celebrate his life, Digital Extremes actually created a shrine for him.
That's nice.
Oh yes, it can be found in one of the hub areas, and it is literally, like, they give him a Warframe you can no longer get, Excalibur Prime, and the shrine is always in a lit area. There are little flowers, rocks, a shrine lantern, and it literally just says, in loving memory of Data Reaper.
That's nice.
And he isn't the only one. Whenever Digital Extremes loses anyone, or literally if someone is on their deathbed and they do a Make-A-Wish, they actually add the person as a character in the game. You get to voice it and everything.
That is really sweet.
Oh, absolutely. This is one of the many reasons why Warframe is so beloved by the community and the people who play it, and why it's been going on for 11 years now, by the way.
Damn, that's a long time.
Oh, absolutely. I'm actually one of the 10-year founders, and I'm quite proud of it.
That's good. Oh shit.
Oh, sorry. 10-year supporter.
No! Oh, I got 60. No, the rest of the rings.
Oh, the precious rings.
Oh man, Metallic Madness. I love this zone.
Fuck, can it be a pain in the ass?
And you can see the... Well, actually, we have to wait till Act 2 before we see the bad future in progress, but we can see the present and the past collide in this.
Through the power of time shenanigans, I create this bad future.
Oh wait, I got super.
So I wish more game devs. I just wish more game devs would actually respect their audiences like this, you know?
Yeah, that'd be really nice.
I'd also wish you played this game with me, god damn it.
I'm sorry, I was just fucking, I don't know, this just seems like a big time investment, I just didn't think of it, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's fine. Just understand, I literally have a 1 in a million drop rate weapon ready for you to receive. Just so we're clear.
Alright, thank you.
No problem. But and I'll say this as well. They succeeded. Like, you remember way back in like 10 years ago when all these games had 10-year plans and all that bullshit, right?
Yeah.
They succeeded. Like, flat out. They literally said, oh, we have a 10-year plan. We've succeeded the 10-year plan. Destiny 2 couldn't do it. Well, that's a big one. Destiny 2 couldn't do it. Literally, I can't, honestly, there's so many, I can't think of how many other games that had this 10-year plan bullshit succeeded.
I mean, Infinite failed in its 10-year plan, that's for sure.
Oh, absolutely. They had the handsome developer come in, and not even him and his handsome face could save it.
Yeah, all they've released is the DMR and reskinned assault rifle, aka MA5K.
Honestly, like, I'll say this right now. If I did a Halo game, you know what I would do? I'd say, fuck all these movement mechanics, get rid of the bullshit story, you are being dropped in, go wild, kill shit. Oh, but isn't that just Doom? Yes, exactly.
Yes. And as you can see in the background here, it's Metallic Madness Bad Future in progress of being made.
Oh wow.
In the next zone we're playing was a cut zone from the CD in a way. Because it was supposed to be in the CD mobile port, and that's Titanic Monarch Zone, right? Because it was originally supposed to be Final Fever, so having Metallic Madness in this game connects to that.
You know what's ironic about this whole thing as well?
What?
That, well, you mentioned, like, mobile ports and things like that, and all I can think about is Sonic 4. That whole catastrophe.
Yeah.
Actually, how much do you know about Sonic 4?
I remember it's a horrible piece of shit with horrible gimmicks. Even Superstars is better than it. It's just like a shitty Flash game. It was supposed to be a fucking... It wasn't even supposed to be Sonic 4, by the way. It was supposed to be some, a mobile game that just recreated Sonic 1.
Yes. Basically what this game was is it was called Sonic the Portable, and what it was is it is exactly what it was. It was supposed to be a phone game, which was a recreation of the original Sonic 1, but with updated graphics, updated characters. It was supposed to be like a sort of soft reboot to the whole Sonic thing. But at some point, Sega said, no, let's not do that. Let's just make it an official Sonic game and make it part of the, the classic games. So you've got, Sonic 2, Sonic 3, Sonic 1, 2, 3, and Knuckles. Sonic 4 was quote-unquote the logical continuation of this, except it wasn't.
Yeah.
And to make matters worse, from what I understand, it was always supposed to be broken up into smaller chunks, and the idea was that when you played this game specifically, it was supposed to be Sega's like fallback. So in between the major releases, these smaller games would come out, and the player base would get to, play these bite-sized adventures, and essentially, for lack of a better term, get their Sonic fix. But the first game did so comically well that Sega rushed the development out for Sonic 4 Episode 2. And that ended up being a catastrophic failure because the second game, while being bigger, was more of the same and it wasn't really well received. That, and also the fact that the phones at the time were changing, so they couldn't really get away with like just making it a phone exclusive. So the development became a lot crazier. People were, we're having much harder times getting it out there. It was basically becoming just as complicated as making a regular Sonic game, basically. So at some point,
here's the Amy doll, by the way. She's here finally.
Oh yeah.
Well, she can't do much now, can she? Oh, she got tails.
Oh no! I just still find that funny because, again, this is the weird thing. Why does Eggman make dolls? Like that's the weird thing I find about this whole thing.
Well, he used them as target practice.
True, but it's also kind of like weird. It's like why make dolls of your arch nemesis and his friends, and then make them robots? You know? Look, it's just weird, and I don't want to think about what Eggman does in private with this shit.
He lets frickin' Gamma shoot him. That's what he does. In Sonic Adventure 1.
I would hope so. Again, it's just I don't know. There's something about a grown adult playing with
Final
dolls
Fever.
that really.
Or Titanic Monarch. I love this cutscene though. Tails like he gets scared of the lightning. There it is.
Again, reinforcing the fact that he is just a kid.
Now people complain about this level being too hard, but this is my favorite level in the game. I don't care. It's fucking awesome.
I think it just mostly comes from how like convoluted the whole thing is.
Well, especially in Act 2, I guess you could say so, but so far I'm getting through it fine. And maybe because I played this game a billion times, but...
True. I mean, personally, I didn't find much issue with it. I thought it was a pretty decent final romp, and it really kind of forces your skills to go into full overdrive, you know?
Yeah. And I love the music of the zone as well.
Oh yeah, it's got an appropriately menacing thing to it all.
And also, in the background, you can see the robot. Like, it's a 3D model, surprisingly. Which is actually really
cool. That makes sense.
And Act 2 is you inside the robot and kind of destroying it from within.
You see, I love those motifs when it's like you are actively doing something to bring it down, you know? It isn't just a whole like, you know, you're just going through a new level. It's actually like, oh yeah, you're bringing this gigantic thing down and you've successfully like disabled parts of it. I always love it when games do that, because it makes you feel like you're actually accomplishing something. Honestly, I wish more games would do that, you know? Letting you bring down like bosses or structures from the inside out and you actually see a tangible effect on their actions. Like, I'll give an example, like God of War 3 and the Chronos fight. It's not just a boss fight, you're fighting the level itself.
Yeah.
God, I miss when God of War was actually interesting and not just,
you know,
whatever the hell Ragnarok is.
Yeah. They've done that with so many franchises now. It's like, oh, a subversion of expectations. How exciting.
God. Yeah, and it makes me happy that some of the older games have been spared from this. Could you imagine a kill zone that's been sanitized?
Oh my.
We're gonna make the space Nazis less space Nazi-ish because that's racist towards someone. Like, fuck you.
How dare you make the villains act like villains?
And ironically, if they actually paid attention to the shit, they'd find that the Helghast are rightfully the underdogs in this fucking story. But hey, who's counting? It's totally not my my biases speaking here. Trev slowly hides the Hellgun flag in his room. But no, I totally don't have this. Oh god. But yeah. So I'm just glad to see that this shit's finally dying. We can get on with our fucking race.
Yeah, it's nice to finally see it. I didn't think we'd ever get to this point, but I'm glad to be wrong.
Yes, again, I keep saying this, and I'm going to keep saying it until I eventually die. Hard times don't last, only hard people. Wait, what?
Hard people.
Oh, God. Basic. It's like, if you can weather through the worst of it, you'll make it. I just wish more people had that gumption and the will to keep going, you know? And when I say the will to keep going, let me be clear. I'm not saying the will to keep going as in, like, you know, someone who's suicidal or depressed. No. I mean the will to keep going as in going forward to have things better.
Yeah.
You know, it's just everyone sits there and goes like, "Oh my god, it's so terrible. And nothing's gonna get better, and I'm just gonna sit here and be a miserable piece of shit all day." It's like, how about you don't do that? You pick yourself up and decide, okay, I'm going to learn a skill or a trade, and I'm going to apply that so I can actually start making the change I want in the world.
Yeah, I've noticed that it's like a problem, especially with my generation, because they just want to be depressed, and I understand why, but it's like, you know, you gotta, like, I know at this point, minimum wage jobs, you're not gonna get anywhere, but just get a job on the internet, learn to frickin' do what I do, like, seriously, that's the way forward now for us. Like, you don't gotta do it the old way, there's, like, ways to still, you know, make a living, it's, you know, even if it's harder, like, I won't deny that, but, you know.
True. I mean, for God's sakes, I suck with my job is soul-crushing. And I mean that in a literal sense. Yeah. And yet, I'm happy. I have a house. I will eventually pay it off. I have a place to put my head down. I couldn't ask for more. And I mean it too. And what makes it sweeter, what actually makes me happy to go through my front door, is the fact that I worked to get this. I didn't throw in the towel. I didn't give up. I didn't quit. I didn't just sit there and go like, oh, life's too hard, I'm gonna bitch about it on the internet. I buckled down, I put on my big boy pants, and I made it work.
Yeah.
God. It just infuriates me, that's all.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you.
It's like, you are literally the results of millions of years of success. Start acting like this.
Yeah.
Anyway, but, you know.
Honestly,
anyway, to keep it away from the...
Wait, what?
Go ahead.
Honestly, I'm still struggling to understand why people say this is a shitty zone. I've been getting along with it so far. I get that it's, like, more difficult than the other zones, but it's not as bad as the frickin' Cosmic Destroyer and Triple Trouble. It's not as bad as Metropolis, Scrap Brain, I guess you could say Panic Puppet, because that zone was fucking annoying. Like, Jesus Christ. I already just got 50 rings. I could go supersonic if I wanted.
I get it.
But the music is awesome, so I'm gonna keep it, you know.
True. I think again when it comes to final stages of Sonic, it's always kind of like hit or miss. I think it's because it's an escalation of challenge. But if you have supersonic, it's also a case of like keeping those rings. I mean, I know for a fact that Scrap Brain. Wait, was it Scrap Brain or was it? I forget the one that had the slicers in it.
Slice. What do you mean?
The ones with the stars, the mantises, the stars, the crabs.
That's Metropolis. That zone is such bullshit.
Yes, exactly.
You literally have no time to react to half the shit there. That is unfair.
Exactly, and it's a big problem because, again, this is what I mean when people have an issue with final stages of Sonic games. It's because they have to make it extremely challenging, but they also have to account for the fact that, he or she might have all the Chaos Emeralds, so we need to make the game, take that away from them whenever possible. The end result, bullshit level.
Yeah.
But oh my god, I'm gonna be honest, Superstars I think is the worst when it comes to that shit.
Yeah, there's just bosses with just insta-kill attacks that you have no way to react to. Like, and then people will...
Oh, yeah.
And there's another, like, the Sonic Adventure prequel I was telling you about. That game has it has, like, the same bullshit bosses, but not in the same way of Superstars, because at least they don't all insta-kill you, but they just spam attacks like crazy. And the only reason I'm still gonna bother with that game is because it has all the cool Mecha Sonic stuff. Like, there's a lot of cool set pieces in it, so I think it's still worth playing. And I'll let you know when we play it, because I think you might like to see what they've done, but, like, it has the same bullshit boss problem to the point I just had to cheat. I'm just gonna cheat. I had to cheat the game. And same with Superstars, I'm just cheating, I don't care. Right? Like, it's not that I don't like a hard challenge, because I'm doing Titanic Monarch fine here. But, like, it's just the game is just bullshit, so I'm not gonna bother.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's the same sort of, like, general, sort of, like, you know, again, pain in the ass problems, but we deal with them because it's fun or worth it. It's not always the case, but, you know, it's a sign of the times. Honestly, I just miss when games actually had interesting final bosses, like any Platinum game, for crying out loud. That was fucking amazing. Like, have you ever played a game called Vanquish?
No, I have not.
It's a fun third-person shooter. Basically, it encourages you to, like, jump around, use speed, slow down time. It has an interesting weapon mechanic, fun guns, and all the enemies are incredibly interesting designed robots. Like, you get one that is like a four-legged creature with like a tail that shoots rockets at you, and then it will suddenly transform into a bipedal form, and the tail becomes a rocket launching axe.
Yeah.
But the big thing about it is that the final boss it's essentially a mirror to your abilities. It moves fast, you can't really, you have to be creative with how you fight it, basically. It's two of them, Alpha and Bravo. And essentially what you have to do is move around, jump around, don't sit still, get them in close range, use your guns, and it is a challenging final boss. And I think that's what's missing in most bosses these days, a fun, challenging final boss that actually challenges the player to learn the mechanics, and not just, hey, we're just going to be cheap for the sake of it. Again, I just wish more people understood that, and didn't kill the boss fight, because, God, you might, sorry, I need to say this. I'm so pissed that most modern games don't have bosses. We don't get that shit. We don't get like a big showdown with like a big villain, or like actually we get to test our skills and or beat down someone. It's more of, oh, we're gonna kill him in a cutscene. Oh yeah, here's more uber enemy.
I never thought about that.
It just makes me so angry. Because again, all this, what's the word? It's like, all these games, they always do the same thing. It's like, oh, here's this antagonist, and he's such a dick, and don't you want to punch him in the face? And you're like, yes, I can't wait to do it. And then your character just does it in a cutscene, or gets his ass beat by some fucking, in a cut, you know, just bullshit like this, where it's a fucking QTE. And you don't get that satisfaction. It's just like, oh, your character did this. Okay, we're gonna move on. I was like, no, let me punch this idiot in the fucking face.
Boy AJ said me, so I guess he relates. You have sons?
Yeah, just...
Yeah. Oh, my Titanic
I don't see why not.
Did you know that this final boss is actually based off a cut CD boss? Well, at least one of the concepts for it. Like, it had, like, these hands.
Oh, really?
Oh, I'm just going super slow.
Again, headcanon doing what Sega failed to do. Also, I feel like this design is based on something.
I do not know what it is.
I just need to... Well, the first phase, I could say, with the weird suit Eggman's wearing. Let me see here. Wait, I think I know what it might be. Let me see. Right, here it is. What I think it reminds me of is like those old Soviet style, like, environmental hazmat suits. That's what it is. You know, the types that like have the heavy metal and shit like that, but you can like manipulate your arms and move claws. Yeah, that's what it reminds me of.
Oh.
Such an odd boss though. But I guess fun. Like, is this supposed to be the machine's heart or something?
Yeah, it's like the heart of the Titanic Monarch. Or the brain.
I find it so weirdly ironic when you think about it. Like, Eggman is the core.
Yeah. There he is. Defeated.
Shit, how could I possibly lose to a 4-foot-tall hedgehog?
Again.
That's the worst of it. It's like, again, there's at some point you gotta look at this and say, you know what, I'm doing something wrong with my life. I need to start rethinking this shit.
I like how both Eggman and the Phantom King are fighting over the Phantom Ruby.
Oh yeah, it's a great detail. It's like, it shows their egos on full display. Like Eggman because, well, let's face it, his IQ matches his ego. And the the Heavy King because, well, he thinks he's a king, so, yeah.
It's mixing the freaking egg reverie with Sonic Boom! What the hell? This mod is crazy! It's like heavily pitched up though, which is kind of funny.
Sonic Boom has succeeded in one thing, and that's giving us this fucking song. So I will give this boss the Eggman's little neck here. I do like the fact that it's like cobbled together from God knows what. It's a nice detail.
Yeah.
It is very clearly last second, like, shit, I'm not gonna let that fucking oversized toaster steal my moment. Fuck you, Sonic. That's the weird thing. Like, when you fight it, he just pushes you away with the little hands. Like, no, fuck you.
Aiden Richardson. Oh, he said I knew that sounded familiar.
Well, it's not bad, it's just weird.
If you go into the mods folder, you can actually also get the music leads, like, so you can pretty much have all the soundtrack of the mod as well, which is cool.
You just put it on your everyday things, like, when you're vacuuming the house, or anything like that.
Yeah.
Imagine living your life like that. Like, it's like you're going to the shopping. You're doing like your shopping. You just hear that in the background. It's like, living life, hanging on the edge, and you're just sitting there like, I'm just getting eggs. God damn it.
Oh, there's Titanic Monarch blown up. Oh no, this is when Sonic goes to fucking... Okay, let's just pretend he didn't go to Forces here. Let's just pretend he went to a special stage at the end here.
Technically, I forget which one comes after this. Hold on, I could be misremembering. But one of the Sonic... I think it's the Sonic animations, I think. Like the shorts they did.
It's Mania Adventures.
Yes, that's it. They basically treat it like that, like he just pops back into reality as if nothing happened. So...
Well, he just teleported.
Yeah.
Well, obviously Sonic Forces never happened.
Exactly. It's just, in the context of all this, it's just Sonic blacked out and then came back around and it's like, oh, that was a weird fever dream. Okay. / he just went to the future, had a horrible acid trip half the time and wondered, what the fuck happened here? And then went back to the past like, oh god, I'm back. Thank you. It's like, Tails, you'll never believe what I saw. There was this weird clown person, and they were fighting with me.
There's this weird edgy guy called Infinite who's weak. He doesn't like being called weak.
Exactly.
No, honestly, classic Sonic would go back in the past and stop, like, Sonic Forces from happening. Because he could do that. He could just go to fucking Baby Infinite and fucking kill him.
Oh god.
Hell, if he even knows about Shadow, he can release him early and prevent the moon from getting blown up in half.
Oh, like that feels like a weird, like, Silver specific game where it's like, oh yeah, Silver's just going back into the distant past for all this shit and just trying to change everything. It's like, I'm here to stop the moon from blowing up, and he's just in the classic era. It's like, what the fuck are you talking
if
about?
they were gonna put classic Sonic in Forces, I've said this a million times, but like, they should have just had him. It should have been like Sonic CD. You just make a good feature. That should have been the reason for it, you know. But you know, well, who cares about Sonic CD? Am I right? We'll just forget it exists. Forget about its influence of making a bad feature look how a Robotnik-owned world should look like, instead of dumping sand on Green Hill for some reason. Yeah, let's just dump a bunch of sand on Green Hill and call it a day. There's still patches of green grass for some reason, even though there's no water and it shouldn't exist, but whatever. Jesus.
Logic.
It should have been. It should have looked like Palm Tree Panic Bad Future, like brown grass, dirty water. That would have been so much better, but no. And
or
that's why I
just
don't
use Green Hill, use something else.
Yeah.
And I'm not even saying that it's like you hate Green Hill and they overuse. No. I mean, literally, if you have to reuse Green Hill, use a different version. Use Emerald Hill.
It doesn't make any sense geographically why they're using Green Hill. Somehow Green Hill connects to Sunset Heights. Somehow, even though we've never heard of that at all in any of the. It's somehow Green Hill's not an island. It's a whole fucking grassland. Like, it's so bullshit. They should have just made their own zone. And if they wanted to reuse classic zones, fine. But at least give them frickin' bad and good futures so they're actually unique. Like, they could have done that. Like, do what Mania did. They actually remixed the levels properly.
Yeah. Again, this leans more into the fact that, again, when it came to Forces, it was essentially supposed to be Sonic Unleashed style world traveling and all that sort of shit. That's why you have all this shit around. But Sega's like, no, we're not going to do that. Let's just keep it all kind of condensed into this more level progression shit. We're not actually going to make anything interesting. It's like, oh god, fucking damn it.
Yeah. Mania gave everyone so much hope, and then Forces had to crush it. And Mania outsold Forces, which is fucking funny. Because they didn't expect it to be so successful.
Right, because again, it's almost as if when you make a good game, the audience is going to come up and go like, oh yeah, I would like to play this game, thank you.
Yeah.
It isn't even just, political bullshit. It's literally, if we actually, if we actually make a game that people want to see, oh, look at that, people will show up.
Yeah.
But again, it's just an irritating scenario and situation when it comes to this shit. I just wish, again, I've said before, I'll say it again. When we had the earliest concepts for Sonic Forces, this idea that essentially it was going to be an Unleashed style game where you can go and explore Sonic's world, and it was slightly more
it was like Sad AM, like, in a way. That's what we were all excited for. I was excited for it, because I was like, oh yeah, I can't wait for this, and I was so fucking disappointed by it. At least they sold it for $40 instead of $60, like they did with Superstars, and,
Right. And again, that's what I mean, is that this whole thing, or this whole, for lack of a better term, project, essentially, with Forces, was supposed to be an exploration of the world, was supposed to kind of give us these things. Again, I've mentioned it before, how they had plans to introduce new Mobian species, the Dragon Mobian type, the more prehistoric type, all this sort of shit.
Well, these Superstars
did like, no. Yeah, they gave us Trip, which, technically she's a, what's it called?
Sun Gazer.
She's a Sun Gazer, but it still counts.
Yeah. Speaking about the dragon thing, there's, like you said, there are leftover dragon skins that you can equip with your avatar, and I use it to make a dragon in the game, but I didn't know that was actually meant to be for a dragon Mobian, which is kind of sad.
Exactly. And again, it just kind of comes back to the same problem, is that Sega didn't want to commit to a world, a globe-trotting adventure, because, it would have brought too many problems and this and that, and we wanted something that was kind of like the classics, and just all this bullshit, and you just kind of sit there and wonder to yourself, at what point does the Sega's, constant, we want to keep it like this, start to, negatively affect what they're trying to do? I would have loved to see this version of the game come out, where essentially you are witnessing the world unfold, where you are exploring these other regions, these other locations, so far removed from what we saw, or like a continuation of what we saw with the characters. You know, like with Unleashed, the world, Adabat, all these places. But now we see the more Mobian side of things. We see how, you know, the more Mobian-focused side of the planet deals with things, the architecture, the island concept. Like, this would have been a great idea, but it didn't go anywhere. Sega got in the way. They said, no, make it more like this, make it more like that. Don't reference the other areas, which were supposed to be referenced at some point, and just leave it to that. Like I said, at some point Sega has to acknowledge the world they've created. They just can't keep isolating this to one place over and over again.
Yeah, and like I mentioned in our DMs, like, after, like, it's because they had no fucking plan after SA2, because they thought it was going to be the final game in the series. They just stopped giving a shit. And Sonic 06 was supposed to be a reboot. So every single game has broken the continuity so many times, and it's like, nothing makes sense because of it, because nothing can work together. Because, like, how can the anime humans from Sonic Adventure 1 coexist with the more realistic ones from the more cartoonish ones from Sonic Unleashed? Like, Mania mode, save slot 1. Oh, it gives me all the score. Total 2 hours, 20 minutes.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. It's just a problem with the whole thing. Is that the stylized humans would have worked, and you could have had something with forces, and there were plans for something with forces. Again, it wasn't just the worlds; it was the Wispens actually opening and having unique functions aside from what we saw in the game. Like, again, the Drill Wispen, for example, could actually open up further, and you could see like things sprouting out from it, or just all this sort of stuff. But instead, you just get the most bland and generic versions of everything, and nothing really comes out or works as it was supposed to.
Yeah.
It's just frustrating at the end of the day, and people are angry with Forces for what I would say legitimate reasons. Forces had this potential. They had this concept. They had everything there, and instead they just choose, no, I'm not going to do that. We're just going to do this. We're going to do that.
It's the reason people hate Forces is because it's mediocre, and it's like, it's so mediocre that it just loops down to being bad. It's so inoffensively, it's like it tries to appeal to everyone, so it appeals to nobody.
Exactly, and that's the worst of it, where, again, you have something there, and it didn't go anywhere at all. It's why I keep saying, it's like, if you're going to go and play, what's it called? If you're going to play Sonic Forces, play Overclocked instead. Don't play the base game. It's not worth it. Overclock is the version of the game you should play, because it's the only version of the game that actually is made by the fans and works. Hell, like, one thing about Overclocked I like is that there's a level specifically that you can play. And in this level, it's a burning forest, and they actually modeled and brought back one of the bosses from Sonic 3 and Knuckles, the one that fires the plumes of fire and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, it's still a boss that you run and chase it down, but it's still something, and the interaction between Infinite and Overclocked Neo Metal Sonic, like, my god, it's insane. It's like, it shows that Infinite could work by adding a little bit more personality, adding a little spice, adding like this attitude. It made Infinite actually redeemable. And even to this day, as far as I understand it, the team at Overclocked have decided, okay, we're just going to start doing more story expansions because people really like this.
Oh, good.
So the next one is
we're
now
going to be doing more.
Yeah, hold on, where is it? Because I just had it here. Let me see. Overclocked. I'm gonna have to go to the Steam page for this because I did see it. But basically, how it works is that the next expansion focuses on Neo Metal Sonic, and it's heavily implied that this is going to be a continuation of the main story, and having you deal with the repercussions of that. Like, I think, and again, keep in mind, I'm not entirely sure, but I think they're just going to start spinning this off into its own continuity, just like how the comics did.
All right.
Let me see. I have to look this up because now it's bothering me, and I don't want to give misinformation, because unlike certain, people out there who make a living on basically basically peddling fake news, I actually like to be accurate with the shit I give. Let's see here. Hold on, Sonic.
I'm just looking for some mods because I'm going to play Encore mode, and I don't want to play the same game over again, so I'm going to actually make it different. By looking for new things in characters.
Okay, here we go.
Here, I'll get fucking Metal Sonic. Why not? Let's play as Metal Sonic. I guess it's Metal Mania.
Here we go. So, here we are. So, one of the updates was giving Sonic the Metal Virus skin. So you could actually play as Metal Virus Sonic in the game. So that's a fun concept. It's nothing special, it's just a shiny skin that gives him red eyes. Let me see. Here we go. So, Sonic Forces Overclock version 2.0 trailer. Let's see here. So, what does this bring? To commemorate 1 whole year since the release of Sonic Forces Overclock, version 1.0, here is a teaser for 2.0, the Neo update, the definitive... Okay, here we go. The definitive final release of Sonic Forces Overclock. So this is the final release or update to the game in terms of, like, the base game. And from what it looks like, it seems that he's going to have a bigger role in this game, so I'm looking forward to it. And there's also the Ultimate Rematch trailer, which implies that we're going to have an episode Shadow for this. And Neo is actually Infinite is actually going to fight the player. This version is basically just giving the player and the avatar the Shadow costume, and then apparently there will be an episode Shadow between Shadow and Neo.
Oh, wow.
Or sorry, Shadow and Infinite. So it looks like it is going to be an entire episode Shadow story, which is going to focus almost exclusively on Shadow and what he's doing in the events of Overclock because he wasn't there. So this is going to be interesting. Honestly, if that's the case, I want to see where this goes. And like I said, I don't mind them doing like a final update, and after that the mod is said and done. I don't mind that. But I would like it if they would continue. I would love to see what else they can do with the basically Sonic Forces engine and how far they could push this. Hell, if they could mod it, imagine what someone like you could do.
Well, I have my stuff in Unreal Engine. Like, someone released a new Sonic engine. I want to mess around with it, so maybe I can do Sonic Extreme. And, I have that Shadow mod, so, like, for Halo. So it's like, I still have my Sonic projects. It's just I've been busy, Actually, I just realized if I'm playing as Metal Sonic, why am I fighting Metal? Oh, whatever, I'll keep it. Maybe it'll just be good Metal Sonic versus bad Metal Sonic. Unless there's Shard. Is there Shard?
I personally, I would just make it like, this is just a version of Metal Sonic that's gone like rogue and just wants to take out
a different Metal Sonic here. He's Mecha Sonic. Well, it's Metal Sonic, but he's Mecha, so he has like the eye thing. It's just there's option for Overlord as the final like boss here. So I don't know. I guess he'll be like. I wish I could paint him red. Actually, maybe I can. Because you can go into the mod files. I'm gonna paint him red. Let's see. Let's do that. Let's see if I can paint him red, just for my own enjoyment.
Here's Metal Sonic. I made him red now.
Data, sprites, Phantom. Yes, you can. Okay. We're gonna paint Metal Sonic red. Just for my own enjoyment. Metal Overlord. Data, sprite. Oh, it has music. What's the music?
Ooh.
Oh, it's what I'm made of. Well, whatever. I'll keep that. Even if it's a little too early in the continuity. Whatever.
You know what? I might. Honestly, I feel inspired by the overclock stuff. I might do some fan work for this.
Yay!
Just fuck it, why not?
What are you gonna do?
I just need to find the right idea for this and not just make it, oh, by the way, I'm just doing the comic again, you know?
Alright.
Actually, fun fact, I did plan on doing some Forces stuff way back in the day for a fan concept. Actually, I was just basically trying to recreate the, the Dark Axis from SD Gundam. Basically, if anyone doesn't know it, SD Gundam is basically the chibi cute Gundam stuff, and Superior Defender was something I grew up with, because it was nice and fun. Fun fact, this is actually where my obsession with the goof really started to shine through. Point is that I did like the Dark Axis trio of these moronic simpletons, the angry red one, the too cool for blue one, and then the idiot with just a lot of guts.
You know what? I'm gonna edit the sprite further. Let's get Metal Sonic High. Metal Sonic High sprite.
I'm watching creation in process.
I know I'm just taking someone else's mod and I'm just painting over it, but you know. Actually, I just realized
again, you're not trying to sell it for profit or anything, so I think it's fine.
Well, yeah, no, I can also make the Mecha Metal Sonic Metal. In fact, I could make Eggman the red Metal Sonic too. I'm gonna do that too. Why not? Let's just make everything. Let's just change everything. I'm technically making a Sonic Mania mod. I'm technically doing that now.
For the sake of this quote-unquote story, here's what I'm going to create as like the quote-unquote canon. This is actually inside Metal Sonic's debug program, and he has to get rid of the bad code, i.e. the red code.
Gotta find the right sprite to use here.
But yes, my original concept was basically creating some quote-unquote, basically some egg bosses based on the Dark Axis trio. There was going to be an angry Jackal character who was basically just always bad-tempered. A different Bat character as well, which was basically just, not Rouge, but someone who enjoyed doing deception. And then for the big dumb one, I was going to make a bull of some sort.
Really?
The project never really went far. Well, it didn't really go far because it just started flying off the handles way too easily, and I just wasn't satisfied with where it was going. So I just said, you know what, I'm just going to revisit this at a later date and time, and I've been kind of on and off this project. But now with the whole Forces thing and Overclocked, I figured, hey, why not? Let's play around with the concept again and see what I can make.
Well,
It'll be a fun what if.
I'm glad to hear that you want to revisit the idea.
Oh yeah, like with me, whenever it comes to like a project or something I'm not satisfied with, I very rarely scrap it entirely. I'll just put it on hiatus for a bit, rethink on it, discuss it with some folks or other people I trust, and then if it comes out better than what I anticipated, then I'll actually start putting it into production and, you know, all that sort of stuff. The only issue is that, what's the word? The only issue I have at the end of the day is just, you know, if it's something I just can't work with, then at some point I just give up on it entirely. Like the Destiny project I was trying to do. I just couldn't bring myself to keep working on this.
I don't blame you.
It was just a combination of problems. It was the fact that I just wasn't as into Destiny 2 as I'd hoped I'd be. the constant issues with the story, basically changing everything like this, just blah 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 blah. And in the end, I just said, "Fuck it, I'm not going to keep wasting my time. I'm not going to create an entire new setting for this. I'm just going to relax and kind of keep going, you know?"
Yeah.
What's it called? Sorry, I'm just checking something.
There we go. I'm gonna just give it that. You know, that's good enough. I just wanted some simple extra spikes, you know, just so he looks a bit cooler. Now he's a red Neo Metal Sonic. Metal
Nice.
Overlord.
Nice. As for the rest, yeah, kind of gave up on that one a while back. Let me see what else I could do or work on. Oh yeah, there's a few other projects here and there. Actually, funnily enough, to bring it back to Warframe and to Gundam for a second, I did actually want to create a Skuldra boss / character for like the enemy faction. I wound up making or basing the guy off of Commander Sazabi of all people. Oh god, it was the same general concept, a flying sort of leader class with a. Well, you know what? I'll just show the image real quick. Again, I'm sorry I can't show this into the chat in general, but you know, take my word for it. It's basically a pink mech with a falcon headpiece. But it was the same basic concept, and I've been on and off this idea for a bit. I am talking with a few modeling friends to see if we can like get a facsimile of this concept. Because if I can, then I would like to submit it to Digital Extremes, and if they accept it, then hey, I'd be a real happy man. Hold on. There we go. I send the image in private. Sorry for the size, by the way. It's the best I can find.
I'll check it out when I can. I'm just trying to figure this out.
No, you're good. You're good. Don't worry about it. But yeah. Anyway, sorry, I'm getting sidetracked here. Yeah. So I am curious. What is the plan moving forward now that you've completed Mania?
Well, I have to do Encore mode, but I'm gonna do it my way, so I'm just changing everything. I'm installing every mod that changes everything, so maybe, just maybe, we can get some, I just realized it says this is like .gif file. Does it animate? No, it does not. Okay, I'm good, so I don't have to spend time actually spriting anything. Okay, I can just replace it.
Okay.
I just wanted to change its colors to red.
No, I get you, and I think that's a good idea at the end of the day. Because, you know, it's like anyone can do a basic playthrough, but very few people can actually mod their playthrough into something more interesting.
Yeah.
Plus, I think it gives, if anyone does, I think it gives their playthrough a bit more teeth to it, you know?
Yeah.
It's like everyone's done a Sonic Adventure 1 playthrough, but not everyone's done a playthrough where everyone's voices is changed with Microsoft sound.
I'm just changing the files here. Oh, wait, there's Metal Overlord. So I'm just trying to figure this out, because if does Metal Overlord have Tails Doll and Metal Knuckles? Wait, no, fuck. I mean, where the frick is it? Here, this guy. Sprites. Oh, what the fuck? Angel Island. What's this? Oh, so that's just Mighty and Ray.
I'm still glad that this game brought them back after 20 or so long years. Mighty finally left the bar.
Oh, that's totally Sonic. That's not what I want. Oh, wait, I didn't put that in... Oh, I didn't put the right file in.
Excuse me.
Oh, by the way, since we're in GIMP, I've been working on a Five Nights at Fredbear's movie. It's probably going to be 30 minutes long.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's pretty much just a bunch of young adults go into a Fredbear's location. Turns out it's a trap, and they all get killed. So it's a slasher film. Actually, I'll check our DMs now.
Okay.
So what was I gonna say? What's I gonna say? So all right, I have to show you the design I have for Chica. That's what I was looking for. So I'll go to modding, and I'll go get it for you because it's actually very creepy. I made it yesterday. I'm gonna go to DMs. Let's see. Oh, that's a nice thing you sent me. This looks like it kind of looks.
Yeah, that.
It looks pink and yellow.
Yeah, so the design is hot pink, and basically, the gold is supposed to symbolize like authority, command, royal kind of colors. The hat is a separate piece, though. It pops off during the anime. But basically, this is how I intended to design that Scoldra boss, where basically the design was basically going to be he would have a similar kind of hat, basically with a big symbol on the top. But he would be kind of cybernetic and actually wear a large like overcoat to hide it. During the boss fight, he would remove it, leap into the air, and then connect himself into like these thrusters and turbines. It kind of like what Bayverse Optimus Prime uses, basically. Same kind of concept. So he would essentially fly around and start gunning the player down from the distance. You would have to shoot him down, and that would enter phase 2, where he would remove the flight tech and then just fight you in melee range.
Oh.
As for the... Oh yeah, no, that's fucking disturbing. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, I gave her a giant drill arm.
I can see that now. Like, I can...
So you want to know the story
what I mean?
behind that? That was based on a Sonic Forces FNAF mod, because it replaces the Egg Dragoon with Nightmare Chica, and she has a drill, and I thought it was cool.
Oh, I see. Okay, no, that's a good idea. Honestly, I can see that working in the in this animation. Like, you just hear it rev up. Someone's like, "What is that?" And then like it goes through them. I like it. It kind of gives me Big Daddy vibes. Speaking of which, God, I'm looking forward to the Netflix Bioshock. Like, I'm curious. What do you know about Bioshock before I say anything?
Nothing.
So Bioshock was it was a smash cultural hit during the early 2000s. The first movie or the first game dealt with capitalism and what happens when it runs rampant. Not in a preachy sort of way, but more in a case of like this makes sense. Basically, Rapture, the city you're in, is based on extreme like no government oversight, no restrictions. Businesses could thrive. If the concept was, is a man not entitled to the sweat of his brow, and Ryan, the founder of the thing, was basically confronted with government, church, and socialists, and basically it said like, no, it belongs to the poor, it belongs to, it belongs to God, no, it belongs to the government. And it's like, he rejected all that, founded Rapture, and basically if you have the gumption to start your own business, you can make it in the city. But the problem is that it created monopolies, and so people would force each other out of business frequently. And because Ryan created Rapture, he was at the top of the food chain. Except there's this moment in the game where basically he's buying out fisheries and cannery, but controlling the means of production for food. Another character comes in called Fontaine, and Fontaine buys plasmids, and plasmids were basically the means to rewrite your DNA, basically. And ironically, um, the scientist who discovered this came to Ryan and offered her business to him. He denied it because he didn't think there was a future in it. And then she gives it to Fontaine. Fontaine's like, "Oh, I can make something with it," and actually steals the economy from under Ryan. And in an insane twist, because essentially he's no longer at the head of things. Basically, this other go-getter's gotten over him. Ryan decides to try to outlaw some of this stuff, so that way he uses the law to get rid of his competition. Exactly the same thing that was affecting him on the surface. So it's basically a critique of like hyperactive capitalism. What happens if you let people like Ryan run roughshod? On the opposite end, the second game focused exclusively on socialism and how dangerous that could be. Like, literally, that entire game is basically gave us a glimpse into the future we're dealing with now. Same basic concept. You had a character called Dr. Lamb, who was basically a clinical psychiatrist, but she used socialist theory to basically turn the population against itself and create an us versus them mentality that's almost like a cult, essentially. And all this because she wants to usher in the age of utopia by using her own daughter as a weapon. One of the most fuck things about this game, by the way, I need to mention this. You play as one of the big daddies, Subject Delta, and specifically, you're bonded to a little sister. You're essentially daughter, and unlike the others, you're part of the like elite line, and you're bonded to one girl essentially. So it is a very father-daughter relationship. He views her as his kid, and she views her as her dad. But she's not supposed to be his kid. She belongs to Dr. Lamb, who's her biological mother. Basically, Eleanor, the name of the girl, gets attacked by some splicers who basically want to kill her because she can harvest Adam. It's part of her DNA, essentially, so if they kill her, they can suck her blood out and become superhuman. So Delta comes in, starts fighting off the splicers, and mid-fight, Dr. Lamb hits him with a specific plasmid that makes Big Daddies fall under pheromone and hypnotic control. And this is where it gets fucked, and I'm not joking. She literally orders him to take off his diving helmet. She gives him a pistol and makes him shoot himself.
That's horrible.
Right in front of her kid, too. Yeah, no, Lamb is awful. Like, legitimately, like, the most evil person alive. And that's saying something. Like, it's one thing to kill someone like this, but it's another to make this person kill themselves in front of his kid, and she literally screams "Daddy" when he goes down.
Do you get to kill her at the end?
So this is not you, your daughter. So the game has a morality system where your morals or what you do, your choices, will affect your daughter. Basically, they bring you back to life, they clone you and resurrect you essentially that way. Or Eleanor does. And she can see through the little sisters, and basically the player has two options. You can save them, basically cure them and make them normal girls again, or you can kill them. Like, literally murder small children and harvest their Adam. And the most, basically whatever choices you do, and it isn't just this, you also have choices with the people you've encountered. You can either be a sociopathic monster, or you can show them mercy. One of my favorite is there is this moment where you meet a character in the game. Her name is Grace Holloway, and she's a black blues singer, and she basically came to Rapture for a better life. When Lamb was arrested, specifically, Grace would take care of the kid and teach Eleanor what her mother wanted her to learn. And during this whole thing, Grace lost track of the kid because of a riot. The kid gets captured by another person, slimy little shit, basically. And Grace was completely distraught because she saw Eleanor as, like, her granddaughter, basically. And later on in the story, basically, she reveals that when she found Eleanor, she ran to her, but she was already a little sister by that point. And Delta, you, essentially hit her and broke her jaw. This is because Big Daddies are programmed to protect the little sisters, even if she had no intention to hurt them. In the scene, Grace has every reason to hate you. She thinks you're a monster. She calls you a baby snatcher. She does all these awful things. And Grace, at the end, you finally get to the room she's in because you need her biological key to continue through the level, to basically get out of there. And Grace literally takes the key off of herself and puts it on the desk when she realizes she's got no way to stop you. And even says, here's the key. I'm not going to have your hands on my body. Sits there and even gives you the choice. You can, kill her or just take the key. If you choose to spare her, she realizes you're not a monster and even says, monsters don't do that. You're a thinking man, aren't you? And realizes the horrible mistake she's done, which is she's misjudged a victim in all of this. And basically, these sorts of actions you do in the game influences Eleanor's choices. She will base her morals based on what you do. If you're a completely ruthless and psychotic individual, she'll actually kill the little sister that saves her, and she will literally drown her own mother in the game's final cutscene. You actually see, basically, it's you, Ellen, and Eleanor rising to the surface inside a section of the building that's shooting up to the surface. And Lamb, her mother, is desperately trying to get to this pocket of air inside the room she's in. And Eleanor will actually grab Dr. Lamb by the ankle and drag her under until she drowns. If Eleanor chooses to, If Eleanor chooses to, or if you teach her mercy, you teach her that not every enemy should be brutalized, then she will actually swim towards her mother and give her an oxygen tank to keep her alive. So the game is all about your choices, and it's always been that case with all the the two BioShock games specifically. Your choices shape how this world will see you. And it teaches you that just because you can be a monster doesn't mean you should all the time. Sure, revenge is a good thing, and you should always go for it, but it's not always the solution to a problem. Basically, it's about smart vengeance, basically. Hell, the game even has 4 different endings you can get. You can get basically, just to be clear, she is able to absorb the consciousness of others, because that's what her mother turned her into. And in the game, Delta will die. There is no saving the character. He's hit by an explosion right at the end, and it ruptures his suit. He's going to pass away, essentially. In the end, Eleanor is faced with a choice because she does love her father, and how you play the game shows that he loves her as well. So the game gives you 4 distinctive choices. The good ending basically sees Eleanor deciding to save her father, at least in mind, not in body. So she takes the injection device and it puts it into his chest and absorbs his consciousness. Now he's a part of her mind and will always be there on her shoulder, guiding her, helping her make the right choices, become a better person than what her mother intended, essentially living by her father's example, his consciousness, essentially. If you choose to do evil options, she becomes ruthless, and recognizing that you're too valuable an asset as a monster, that you've quote-unquote proven to the world, Eleanor will immediately take the needle and inject Delta with it. She'll absorb his consciousness, and the ending shows that she intends to use that will, that drive that Subject Delta had, and the world will not survive what she has planned for it, basically. The sad ending is basically where you chose to save the little sisters, but you chose to do the evil choices, or you chose vengeance over anything else. And she's heartbroken by that you would show kindness to the girls, but you will not spare her innocence in this world, essentially. You teach her to be as cruel and ruthless, but you also show these girls a better path, essentially. And Eleanor is heart-stricken by this. She even says that you didn't want me, but you still came for me. And in a very just sad moment, you actually see when she goes to like inject him and take his consciousness again, Delta actually bats the needle out of her hand or out away from her, basically, as if to say, "No, I reject this." And she drags him towards the edge of the water. The edge of the platform, and it just ends with her looking distraught and miserable. Her father looking at her at the last time, before turning his gaze to the water and just dying on the spot. His mind and consciousness completely gone, and Eleanor is truly alone in this world. And that's basically the endings to Bioshock 2.
Oh my.
Yeah, these were truly emotional games, and I think really shared and showed humanity, like, it helped mold some people's moral compasses in a good way. You know, it showed that there are other paths in this world. And then Bioshock Infinite completely fucked it up because it just did a racism story.
So I've heard.
Yeah, it's terrible. Basically, the game was out of the creator's control. It was done by the studio. They completely changed and ruined a lot of it. Basically, it was supposed to be something completely different. That they introduced a new character who's basically Eleanor 2.0 in the form of Elizabeth. And then they did this whole DLC, which basically retcons the multiverse story they set up, and it's just so fucking stupid. And since then, Bioshock has thankfully remained in the shadows. You know, its story spared essentially until Netflix, and I am so fucking worried because they're probably going to look at, oh, Bioshock 2 was about socialism, therefore we can just inject all the shit we want. God.
Yeah.
I'm just so fucking tired of this shit. And I mean it too. I'm tired of just this stupid bullshit from, what's it called? You know, of all of this, essentially. Hell, I'm calling it now. They're also going to misrepresent the big daddies. They're just going to make them into mindless hulking beasts instead of the victims they are. You know, every big daddy's literally just it's horrifying. Essentially, when you become a big daddy, they just take your body, they rip you apart, they rebuild you from the inside out. They literally sew the diving suit on you and scramble your vocals so you can't speak. Just calling it now. They're going to turn them into some sort of Fallout / Master Chief bullshit superheroes, and I'm going to scream. I'm going to start screaming at people. Sorry if I'm ranting. I'm having a moment.
No, it's okay. I'm just installing Mystic Cave Zone.
Okay.
And a ton of others. Tidal Tempest. What is this? Oh, Hydro City.
Oh. Mm-hmm. Honestly, I do recommend the first and second game. They are free. Sorry, not free. They are on Steam, and they are remastered. I highly recommend it. It's a very linear, straightforward thing that gives you all the choices you could possibly want. It's something I recommend.
Alright.
Oh, there's even a museum in the game dedicated to the cut. What's it called? To the cut enemies and content of the game. I just wish more games would actually do that, you know? Like, show us what came before, and like, here's this museum of like cut enemies and cut concepts and designs we never got a chance to implement. Instead of, oh, we're just going to sell you the cut content later at a fraction of the price. Like, fuck off. So effing mad. Anyway, sorry to rant and run, but I do need to get back to something here with a friend of mine. Basically, he's just asking if I can get something sorted. I do need to write something for him.
That's okay.
All right. I'll try to come back in if you're still going. It shouldn't take too long, but assuming everything doesn't go south, it's probably gonna be the end of my night. Again, I say probably, not will.
Alright.
But yeah, I would do with the rest of your what's it called? With the rest of your stream tonight, and I hope that the mod works and doesn't just doesn't just like destroy the whole game. It's like, oh, why is Metal Sonic just a black void of nothingness? It's like, well, you broke the model file.
Well, I'm just downloading a lot of things right now, so it's like not easy. I gotta unzip everything.
Oh, I see.
Like, there's a lot of stuff to download, but it'll be worth it in the end because I'll get an entirely different game.
Oh yeah, and I'm fairly certain that this is also going to be very again, this is going to make your game stand out a little more than the others who play.
Green Hill's going to be Snow Hill now.
Ooh. I like that. Alright, I will see you later tonight.
See ya.